Adding integers with integer chips. This is a digital lesson, and students are able to move these yellow and these red chips around their screen in order to solve the addition problems. So the lesson starts with explaining what integers are. They're whole numbers and their opposites, does not include fractions or decimals. And then it explains what absolute value is, the distance from 0. Now, slide 4 shows students what the red chips and yellow chips mean. So the red chips are going to be negative numbers. Yellow chips are for positive numbers. And if we have one red and one yellow, that's called a zero pair because they add up to 0. -1 plus 1. So slide 4 gives an example of students of how to do this addition. So if we have -6 plus 4, -6 we're going to show with red chips. We have 6 red chips, and then we're adding 4 positives or 4 yellow chips. If we line them up like this, then we can take out the zero pairs, one red and one yellow, because they add up to 0. So what's left is our answer. Here in this case is -2. So then students have some problems to solve. Now slide 6 has an example of when the signs are the same. So they're going to just click and hold on these chips and they can move them into place. So if we have 3 positives and we add 3 more positives, we get a total of 6 positives. And they're going to refer back to this slide for one of the later slides when they're going to be dragging and dropping vocabulary terms. Here we're adding negatives, so we have a -5, which means 5 red chips, and add 2 more red chips for a total of -7. Now the slides remaining, students are going to just add all of these problems together. They've got one negative, one positive. So here if we have -2, again click and hold, move these into place. And we want to line them up so that we can take out the zero pairs. So we have 2 negatives or 2 red, 5 positives or 5 yellow. And if they take out the zero pairs, they're left with their answer of +3. This one they have 4 plus -3, so they're going to have 4 positive or 4 yellow chips, and then 3, and we can move these over if we need to, 3 negative chips, and if we take out the zero pairs, we're left with +1. And they have several more to solve, -6 plus 5, 8 plus -4, and so on. So they're going to solve all of these with the chips. We want to make sure they show how they did this with the chips and they're not just typing in their answer. Now when they get to slide 13, now they may want to refer back to slide 6 when they're adding and the signs are the same. So we're going to drag and drop these terms into the correct place in the sentence frames. I noticed that when the signs are the same, you must add and keep the same sign. When the signs are different, you must subtract and take the sign of the add end with the greatest absolute value. And you will need to go over this with the students so they understand what this means. So slide 14 then gives the rules for adding integers. So once they know how to do it conceptually with the chips, then you can give them the rules. And the very last slide, they're just going to be using the rules to complete all of these integer problems. So that is digital lesson, adding integers with integer chips.